Cold email still holds the record for the most high-ticket sales calls booked in 30 days, and it's not even close, helping generate over 250 sales calls during that time frame. And not only that, but it's solely responsible for helping our agency scale up to $39,000 in monthly recurring revenue and generating over $8 million for us and our clients. But what most people won't tell you is a large percentage of that success is finding the hard-to-find data within the internet itself and then writing persuasive copy that actually gets read and drives engagement. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to take you through some of our data collection process and how we get in front of 7- and 9-figure CEOs and different C-suite personas, as well as the psychology behind some of these copywriting techniques, so you can write copy that actually persuades, entertains, and captures that engagement from your readers themselves. Let's get into it. So starting with the data, we first need to refine who's our exact ideal client persona that we want to engage with, and then we'll go out and figure out the accounts and then those people from the accounts as well. And so there's a few different strategies that we'll run through here. LinkedIn, we'll use Clay, and then we'll use Ocean for lookalikes. I'll take you guys through the strategies here and get a little granular. So starting off with LinkedIn, it's probably one of our favorite sources, just given, let's say we're going after 11 to 50 employees in the 1 to 10 million range. In most cases, they're going to be active on LinkedIn in most industries. And so what you can do here on LinkedIn Sales Nav is just quickly filter for those personas that you want to engage with. And then you'll just copy in this link here. You'll come over to Clay. We like to use Clay for this data enrichment process. Your table, find people, and then you just pull this in from this external list. It does cost 1 Clay credit per each row that you're running here. So if we're going to run that against the 110,000 that there were here, would recommend probably not, or setting a limit to like 3,000 just so you don't burn through a ton of credits, because then we're gonna have to go through a waterfall enrichment process, and I'll take you guys through that in a second. Secondarily, what we can do here is create new table, find companies, and you can filter in here the exact kind of sort of companies that you're looking for. Software development, right? 11 to 50 employees that we talked around, privately held, and the US base. And so this can all exist holistically within Clay itself, because we're going to go through the data fall enrichment process, and it'll make your life just so much easier holding this within one space. So this will pull in a ton of companies for us to evaluate and look at. 33,000 results, right? Another strong list that we can work off of. So that's 2 ways that we can find accounts. One of the best ways in one of the initial campaigns that we run for our clients is they ultimately have a lot of individual companies that are great for their business, that always retain, that tell other people about their services, and that they never complain. And so what we'll often do is we'll come into Clay and we'll say, okay, what do those actual businesses look like? And what are their domains? And we'll utilize a tool called Ocean. We have an API set up, but let's just say our great client is Buzzly.io and we want a ton more of them. We'll just type in Buzzly.io here, filter on the specific countries that we're focused on, and then set this relevance key to around 85, minimum lookalike score to 85. We just find that that's going to be more highly relevant. And essentially what this is going to go do is it's going to conduct a Boolean search for a bunch of different lookalike accounts within that specific area that share similar keywords or industries that those businesses look like. And then we can go package that case study up of the great client that we have and take it to that audience and sell it to them correctly. So you'll be able to run that, and then that'll provide you a curated list of all those different accounts that you can go off of. Now, what you're going to see here, now I'm going to take you to, let's pretend that we just ran that Ocean lookalike for our client that sells into the entertainment industry. They're going after lookalikes from C3 Presents. So essentially we just ran that lookalike list, and it's going to pull in the company domain, description, LinkedIn, Instagram, all this good stuff, even their website traffic, which we sometimes reference, but not really. Any technologies that they have on their website, and then include some personalization as well. So now we have the company, right? But that's not the actual people that we need to engage with. And so in this case here, what we'll do is find people at these companies. And then this is where you'll look for specific job titles that you want to engage with. Owner, C-suite, let's see, head of sales, all these sort of different roles, account executive, right? And then this will provide you a preview of all these different people that you'll want to be engaging with here in their information as well. And so now we're getting really highly relevant lookalike audiences and the direct contact personas that we want to engage with there, right? And so now we're getting that whole list, 2,600, different businesses that we can speak to. So I've already ran that list here, so I'm going to jump over to another table and take you guys through that waterfall enrichment process. So in this case here, we have all those imported files from this previous C3 Presents list. Those are just getting written in. And then we included some personalization there, nothing that's really relevant to this conversation. And then we'll take these guys through a waterfall enrichment process. This is just hosted natively within Clay. We have a bunch of different data providers that we'll use. Work email is what we call it. And so we'll just want to make sure that this is organized correctly. We like to use people data labs first, find email, right? We have drop contact, find email, and then to Tagma. Actually, let's bump to Tagma first. And so this is the typical lead flow that we work with. We all like to do people data labs last, because it's got so many credits. Forgot about that. But then you just run this list, and then that'll provide you with all these different work emails. We then use an HTTP API request within Clay. You just have a get And then this is the endpoint that you'll want to utilize. This is held natively within our Million verifier. It's just a email verification tool to ensure that we end up in the inbox. We provide our API key, the email account list that we want to verify here, and then a timeout request of around 10 tries. We'll then save and run that list. If it's good, then we'll just have that push over directly into this email retrieval. And then if it's bad, right, we're gonna want to flag that, and we'll run that through bounce band as well. Excuse me. See, it says risky there. We're gonna run that through bounce band, which is gonna be our second data verifier. Very similar workflow. API bounce band. We'll have it verify that endpoint there. And then there's an API key that's held natively down there as our authorization, right? Here's the formula that we're running with in case that turns up as risky or as bad or something like that. And if so, we'll verify it again. And now you have a nice clean list of all the final emails that you want to use to engage those target personas. Awesome. So that'll get us the data for those different target accounts that we want to go after that exist within our ICP or that are great lookalike audiences for some of our best clients. We're then taking that account list, we're importing into another table to find the people at those companies that share that relevant title or contact information. We're then pulling that contact information through a ton of different data sources and providers there so we can verify the validity of it. And then we're going to go through bounce band and Million verifier to ensure that we're actually going to end up in the inbox every single time with those target personas, which is great. But now we need to figure out what the heck we're going to say. And so when it comes to writing with cold emails, starting off with scripts and templates is helpful, but it's not going to get you the whole way. I really encourage you to think outside of the box when it comes to creative cold email copywriting. That's when you really see extraordinary results with your cold email campaigns. I also recommend including some A/B testing. Most of our clients now, they're getting anywhere from 10 to 12 variants on step 1, and then anywhere from like 4 to 6 variants on step 2. The reason being is this is going to give us a ton of different data points to test out, whether that's the format scripts, the offer that we're presenting, the personalization, and everything in between. And right about like 400 cents, we'll be pretty easy and able to tell what script is or isn't working. And that typically takes around like a 30, maybe 45 days of running the actual campaign itself here. So I want to take you through actually one of the recent campaigns that we stood up, just so you guys can get in my head a little bit as to how we're writing high performing copy. These campaigns went on to generate a ton of different leads for our businesses here. So let me just share my screen here with you, walk you through the process. So for the first email, we like to go through that standard format of personalization here, a pain level personalization. This is often referred to as poke the bear. We then package that up into an offer, right there. I often refer to the Hormozy framework in some of my videos, right? Where you do the same thing here. We help X do Y and Z time frame. The next one is a case study, and then a value-driven CTA. The value-driven CTA is essentially like providing that client with some sort of value, that prospect with some sort of value in order to earn their time. And so we'll do this for a few different ways. We're going to spin test we're going to A/B test the actual opener. We're going to A/B test the offer itself in different ways that we can package that up. Now, the next one that we really like and we see high performing, specifically when we engage with SMB owners that are under, let's say like 8 figures in revenue, is we just call it skip the shit and pitch, excuse my candor, but we essentially just bring in exactly like, what do we do here and how do we help? And just go for a quick pitch, right? And then we'll even sometimes throw that case study here at the bottom. I have a larger video on 50 minutes of cold email copywriting. I'll link that somewhere down below, or maybe it'll pop up here on the screen. I recommend you guys checking that out. It'll take you through a bunch of different copywriting frameworks and strategies and how to communicate effectively. And then lastly, is we like to sell the case study. Right? That'll be these 2 steps here. Is just taking the existing case study impact that you had, having it relate to these guys, and then pitching that there with the value-driven call to action. So that's that first kind of email copywriting that we're going to run with. And then this is just one of those, for example, just getting creative, having a little fun with it. Didn't see my studio on your page. Implementing this could increase your membership, right? Just go for that offer, have a risk reversal in there, and then even throw a little sweetener, and then have a unique CTA, right? These are all different things that you want to test out in your cold email copywriting strategy. Once again, really recommend you go and check out that copywriting video. But all that to say, if you have that traditional format of personalization, offer, case study, CTA, that does pretty well. It's not the best one. We like that direct pitch that we're going to run with there. And then also selling the case study. That works incredibly well if we're going after those lookalike audiences. So that's some general templates that we'll run with there. Now, as for the subject line, what we like to see that works relatively well right now is first name / company name, or first name, idea for you. First name, can I get your opinion on this? Their company name / your company name, or their company name plus your company name. Also like to do if, let's say you're the CEO of your own business or you're reaching out, utilizing the CEO's name themselves, you could do first name of the contact persona you're engaging with, and then / your name if you're the CEO or that counterpart, intro. That one works pretty well. Even something silly too that breaks up an inbox, like the light bulb emoji and like question mark, that's seen incredible results too. So there's like a few different things that you can do to get creative here, but ultimately we want to drive that open. And then when we drive that open, right, how do we get them to read the email as quickly as possible and get them to convert an action on that email? And one of the biggest things that drives that conversion is if that email is personalized to them, right? You need to speak individually to that target persona and who they're exactly engaging with and like what is going on in their lives themselves. So let's like take one of these scripts, for example. Hi, first name. We specialize in helping dental practices generate extra teeth whitening appointments per month, guaranteed. In fact, just last month, we successfully obtained 15 new whitening appointments on autopilot for Spets Dental. Curious to learn more. So taking that script a little bit further, right, we have the direct offer that we're looking with here, and then we're just throwing in a case study in a casual format. And that one's worked out pretty well from a targeting strategy perspective, but it doesn't lack personalization here. So where you could take that extra step further is you could have AI go and scrape their website, pull out some case studies or reviews that they have or any features that they have on publications and reference that in that outreach to take that one step further. Needless to say, the value proposition is still going to remain the same. You're just including that extra element of personalization to take your scripts one step further. And we're being really specific on the niche that we're looking to engage with, calling out exact dentist, and then the specific service that we're going to be able to provide them, 5 extra teeth whitening appointments. Now, strategy 2 is utilizing that one sentence cold email that I just took you guys through prior. It's essentially just going in and we're going right for the pitch. So here's another example that you can check out. We built a tool that can get you 500 plus meetings a month. Mind if I send more info? Now, that 500 meetings plus a month is probably a little bit exorbitant. Probably want to scale that down to a little bit more reasonable. Maybe let's say 20 to 30. But the thing is to say it's going to capture their attention. One of the other things that I've done is let's say you're utilizing a tool. Let's call it Klaviyo, for example. You could simply come out and be like, hey, came across that you were utilizing our friends over at Klaviyo. We built a tool that can help you find 500 more clients, or we built you a tool that can help you find 500 more subscribers every single month. Mind if I send over more info? There's something similar like that. It includes that personalization of, I know you're utilizing the software, and then it comes in with a CTA of something that's incredibly relevant and going to bring them value at a pretty low friction as well. And then our last strategy takes a little bit longer to book a call, but increases the likelihood of closing that lead and at least getting some engagement. I don't recommend this on your first outreach, but if it's your second or third time hitting this prospect, you might need to change it up a little bit if you're going to get any engagement at all. So what that sounds like is, hey, Tom, we're writing a research paper on e-com stores, just like company name. I would love to ask a few questions about, and then your specific questions. How much revenue you guys doing? What's your traffic volume? Are you utilizing Klaviyo for email marketing? Stuff like that. Mind if I send some questions over? Happy to share some insights with you later on and add a link to your website once we publish it. Now listen, there are dozens of other strategies out there, but these 3 are the most effective that we found for booking over 250 calls in 30 days. But if you want to learn how we write scripts live, click on this video here.